Alrighty, everybody. Had a great week last week. A lot of that was because of me getting my bonus on my last truck, which is a little more than $7,000. That makes anybody happy. Um, Set up some funded accounts and went shopping for a new 40-inch TV that is mounted on the opposite wall over here. Um, and purchased a new handgun and took a little time off. Um, wasn't planning on trading those funded accounts on Friday once they were set up, but caught a few opportunities and total profits on Friday was just under $2,000. So um, when the setups come, you take them. Uh, and so we ended the week uh, making some profits on those new funded accounts. So let's get into the charts for next week. What I'm looking at, um, I have the we have the 1 hour, the daily, the 1 hour, the 15 minute, and the 1 minute. So let's take a quick look at the daily. We're in this range. I don't really have a daily bias. Uh, we have equal highs for weekly buy side liquidity here. We have equal lows, relative equal lows down here for weekly sell side liquidity. Um, and then we're kind of stuck in between these gaps, order blocks, and a breaker bar. Um, the only thing I can say is that, we are closer to this liquidity level than we are this. And we went into premium. We've come back down into this quadrant, hit the discount level of this quadrant, and maybe bounce and go higher from there. But we did uh, on the weekly chart, we did make a swing high here. We swept well last week's low and rejected. But after making a swing high, you usually see a low getting swept. So for that to happen, we have to come down and take this low. And if we got down there first before going higher, um, then I would be targeting uh, the liquidity between or below these equal lows here. Uh, so, but knowing that price moves from premium to discount to premium to discount, um, we did hit the discount of this quadrant on the daily. So I'm not real sure. Um, and that's okay. I mean, it's very hard once you get into a range like this and you've been here for a few weeks. Um, I mean, it's just been ridiculous for a few weeks. But it's still very tradable. So we don't really need a daily bias to make our money. We can look at the lower time frames and take our opportunities there. Okay. Forgive the coughing. I'm still getting over the cough from the cold that I had. Uh, Taking a little longer than normal because I'm a smoker, so it is what it is. So let's take a look at the 1 hour, and this kind of interests me a bit. Um, I do need to mark out this gap here as well. Even though, we filled the gap, it's still relevant because it is inside of our dealing range. So we still want to watch it uh, and keep an eye on that. Okay. Um, all right. And I also want to keep an eye on uh, this gap here that is close to the 2.5 on the downside. Okay. We have wick down here at the bottom, which the 50% has held nicely before we started pushing up. So we'll keep that in mind as well if we come down into this quadrant again. Right now, I am looking for us to come down since we've had a market structure shift, come down and at least sweep this low at some point. What I would like to see happen though, um, is now that we're in discount of this quadrant, I would like to see us bounce um, from this displacement and get our 6-2 retrace. The 6-2 lines up perfectly with the midline of this 1 hour fair value gap. Um, and then we have equilibrium of that range, which is just below the 7-0. Ignore that. So the pocket between the 6-2 and the 7-0 here would be a really good area to take a short for a reversal. And you can see the target on that 6-2 retrace would be right down here, this 1 hour swing low, um, and in this order block here. That we actually have not touched since we made it. Okay. Um, I did that by accident. Okay. Um, so we made the order block when we closed here. So we did touch it on the very next candle. Uh, Not the very next, but a couple candles after we came down, we touched it, and that's when we took off. So I would like to see us come down and test the midline of this. And I want to see us go higher to go lower. Okay. Might happen. We might just go straight down into this area and then bounce. Um, and we'll have to reset our fib if we do that. Okay. 15-minute looks pretty much the same as the 1 hour. And we're watching, all of our levels there. I do have a 15-minute dealing range set, but um, I don't know if it's going to stay there. If we drop lower, then we'll have to reset our dealing range there. So we have our 1 hour dealing range in black, our Um, 15-minute dealing range set in red. All right. So that's pretty much NASDAQ. What I would really like to see again is price come up to this, hit the midline, and then fall to take the 1 hour low down here. Um, and see how we do there. Um, I may mark up a few other things. If we do bounce, I want to see how these inverted gaps play into price action over here. Just because we've run through them, they're still valid, um, and we need to keep an eye on them. So there you go for NASDAQ. Uh, I'm going to do separate videos for other assets, and I'll see you in the next one.